Greetings. My name is Dr. Samuel L. Thompson, Executive Director of In Touch Community Services Incorporated. We're here to work with you and work for you as we work together to try to accomplish some goals, providing outreach to you as it relates to working with our young people and giving them the necessary tools that they need in order to accomplish this goal with the United States Department of Agriculture. It is so important that you know everything that you need to know about agriculture. Many of our young people do not know or understand that everything that we eat comes from the United States Department of Agriculture. The clothing we wear, everything about us comes from the USDA. But we're really excited because young people really need to know. And guess what? You're our future farmers, and you don't have to just be a farmer. You can be an engineer, you can be a scientist. All of these jobs are with the United States Department of Agriculture. So let's work and work hard, and we'll see you there. May God bless you.
Good day, Operation Shoestring and future backyard farmers. My name is Otis Wright Jr. I am a technical assistance provider with In Touch Community Services. Today we're going to be talking about container gardening. I'm going to show you different containers that you probably already have at the house that you can start your own garden with. Let's get started. First of all, safety. Always have gloves. All right? Also, you need protective eyewear. Okay? And also try to get your parents, make sure your parents are involved as well. Always have adult supervision when you're doing anything on the outside, okay? All right. So today we're gonna get started. We have with us a sand pail that you probably had when you were very, very little. And if it's still laying around, we're gonna see what we can grow in it. So we're gonna put our gloves on, and we're gonna fill our sand pail as soon as I get my gloves on. And we're gonna fill our sand pail with soil. All right. So today, I have a big bag of potting soil. I'm gonna fill it up. Always remember too, just in case you ever, when you're dealing with potting soil, you only want to open potting soil on the outside. So don't open it up inside the house or open it inside of the car garage, because it has natural gases in it because it's compost. So it's constantly breaking down, and so you don't want to open it in a closed area and you breathe those harsh gases in. So always make sure you're doing this on the outside, where it's very, very airy. Get plenty of air and oxygen. All right. So I got my sand pail full. I hooked my helmet back on there because I want to carry it to a different spot. And today I have a tomato plant, and we're gonna use this sand pail as the home for this tomato plant. And so what you can do, you can fill this pail up halfway, and then you can stick your plant in, stick your transplant in, and then you can put the rest of the potting soil in. That's what I did, and so I'm gonna top it off with this. And don't worry about if you're making a mess because you're on the outside. That's a good thing about doing this. You can get messy and dirty. Our next container that we're going to use is something that's very common. And it's just a simple 1 gallon water jug. Make sure that you get your parents' help. You want to cut this container across the front, but you want to leave that support that's connected up here so you can still be able to use your handy handle. All right. Also, one thing I forgot to mention earlier, for every plant that you buy, it should come with an information tag. And this information tag gives you all the details about what type of plant this is and how to grow it. Make sure you do your research before you grow anything. So today, we're gonna put a cucumber plant in our 1 gallon jug. Now this cucumber plant is gonna get huge. It's gonna grow outside of this jug. So you wanna make sure you put it in a spot that's well lit, but in a spot that you're gonna have a lot of space. And I'm gonna plant 2 small transplants in here. And they're gonna become as one in a few weeks. They'll grow like one plant together. And I'm gonna leave my tag in here, my information tag, so I won't forget. The more and more that you be able to do this, you'll be able to recognize what type of plants you have by just looking at the leaves. That's when you become a professional gardener. All right. Our next container is it's a bigger container. It's kind of like a flower pot, and it's square. All right. So far we've discussed planting in a sand pail and also a 1-gallon water jug. Next, we're gonna move up a little bit, right? So we're getting real serious now. We have this container bed. This is kind of like a raised bed too. And we're gonna fill this up and we're gonna plant something inside of it. I think we got cabbages that we're gonna put in it. So we're just gonna do exactly how we did with the pails, except we're gonna use a lot more potting soil. We're gonna fill this up. Now, just because you're using a bigger container, you still need to give your plants proper spacing. So that goes back to make sure that you do your research. Read the little tab that comes with your transplant to learn about how far spacing that you need to put it in between your plants. All right. So sometimes when you get this soil, it's gonna be some clumps in it. You can just, because you got your gloves on, you just take it and just kind of break it up, get it all smooth and even. All right. So today we have cabbage. How many of you guys like cabbage? I do. And so I'm gonna pull my cabbage pods out like such. Now cabbage is something that needs about 18 inches. And so I'm gonna put one in each corner, close to the corners. And so, can you see? I'm not gonna put it all the way into the corner because I don't want it right up against the plastic, but I'm gonna do it a couple of inches away from the corner. I'm gonna plant 3 of these. I'm sorry, I'm gonna plant 4 of these. That's your root system. So if you see that, don't think it's slimy worms or anything. That's just your roots. That's how your root system. This is how your plant lives. This is how your plant eats and drinks. You also want to make sure that you put this, that you're growing in a nice, well-lit area, so it gets enough sun for the process called photosynthesis. That's how your plant eats. That's how it grows. Now, this is, as you can see, I have 4 cabbage plants in here. This spacing is real good. You still have enough room to put maybe 1 more plant dead center here. All right. So this is our container pot, just like a raised bed. So next we're going to go to the actual raised bed and we're going to show you how to install that, and hope you guys have fun. Here we go. So our next container is the raised bed. Now the raised bed is a little bit more pieces to it than the bucket and the already made up pot. So today we're gonna do, so this time we're gonna do a little construction. Don't forget your safety gloves and don't forget parent supervision, okay? Because we don't want you to get a splinter. So this is really like kind of doing a puzzle. As you can see, I have 2 pieces of wood, right? I got a long piece and I have a block. These grooves right here is where this wood peg is gonna slide into. And that's gonna make our corners for our bed. So just simply, you can do it kneeling or standing up. I'm doing it standing up just to show you. And we're just gonna slide that piece of wood on there like that. We're gonna get it about even, just like that. You should have a little bit of lip sticking out on each one. Just a little bit. All right. So that's one corner. Well, that's one end. Then we're gonna just connect the other one, just like that. Now you want to do this on a real good even brown, right? So everything will be level. I'm just connecting all of my pieces. If you come across a piece that's kind of sticky, that's not wanting to go down all the way, you have to get your mom or dad to come help you. Just hold this up and just knock it a little bit with the hammer. Hit it in the dead center, just like that, so you don't chip the ends. That one went down really easy. Let's see if this one does. You can buy these kits from any hardware store. So that's it. That's our 4x4 raised bed. Next, if you want to keep it pretty and if you want to keep the weeds out, you need landscape fabric. This goes at the bottom before we put the potting soil in. This is going to be a barrier between the plant and the soil and the weeds. So this goes at the very bottom. Now, we are going to have to cut this. So, you know what that means, right? Parents' permission and parents' supervision. We're gonna take our scissors and just cut it to the shape of the bed. I'm gonna give it a little bit extra here so I can cover it. So I'm gonna cut it all the way out here. Don't worry about if you have a lot of overlap, the soil is going to cover that up. And the more of this you have, the better. Let it overlap across the other one, just like that. Want to have enough to where we cover the whole ends. Like that. That's it. So, of course, before we put our plants in, we have to put our soil in. So, being that this is light and it's folding up, don't worry, the soil is going to hold it down. Me, I like to start in the dead center, right here, like this. I'm gonna take my scissors, cut my bag. Spread our soil. Okay. So we've added our garden soil to our raised bed. Now we're getting ready to spread it. You can use a shovel, or you can use a good sturdy rake. I have a good sturdy rake today, so I'm just gonna use this. And just try to do it to where kind of light, so you don't throw stuff everywhere. You want to keep your soil inside of your container. So be real easy with it, and just push it to the corners, fill it in, make it look nice and pretty. After we do this, we'll come across the top, and we'll rake it, and we'll even it up. This bed here took 2 of the 50-pound sacks of garden soil and 1 bag, and 1 27-pound bag of garden soil. This is just about perfect. You could add a little more as it kind of breaks down, but right now you pretty much got enough to grow whatever you want to put in here. But like I said, as it rains on it, it's gonna settle. You can just add as you go. Make sure, once again, that you put these, that you plant when you're planting, whether it's in a container or in a bed, you want good sunlight. All right, nice and pretty. That looks good. So, we have 1 tomato plant that we're gonna put down, just to show you guys. But we're probably gonna fill this bed up. And it's just like when you're doing the pot. Just gonna find you a space. You can take your hand, open it up, and all put your plant down all the way to the base of the root pod, to the base of the plant, just like that. And that's it. So next, what we need to talk about is proper watering. You don't want to overwater because you can cause rot. So make sure you research your plants and to see how much water each plant needs. Of course, on a good hot day, you're gonna have to water your plants a little bit more, especially during the summertime. So make sure you research your plants, and also come and just touch your soil and see how dry it is. You don't want your soil ever to be just completely dry. You want to always keep moisture, and that's the benefits of doing these raised beds. They retain moisture better. So we've come to the end of our raised bed and container garden tutorial. Today we used the cedar raised bed. The reason why we use cedar is because cedar is insect resistant. That simply means that bugs cannot eat or deteriorate cedar wood. So you want to look for cedar or you want to look for cypress. All right. We also discussed containers such as your ordinary sand pail. You can also do this with a 5-gallon bucket. The sand pail, a basic flower pot, which all of these, you can probably get these for about $1 from the dollar store. And of course, you can get this one for 69 cents. And this is your basic 1-gallon water jug. Thank you and happy gardening.